unconventional. And then, if we break it down into gas, you can have tight gas sand, coal-bed methane, and gas shales. I do not have to read the details of the characteristic, but it's just to give. And the other thing that the world is working is hydrate gas. It's huge potential, but a lot of difficulties in operation, safety. But countries like Japan are doing a lot of research on hydrates. We go to the resource triangle, okay? Whether you want to call it tight gas or tight oil, whatever, you can go from a very high quality reservoir to the lowest quality. And we define that by permeability. And usually, the tight one have huge volume, but very difficult to develop. So in place number is not the issue. It is the recovery that puzzles the engineers, okay? If you look the statistic on natural gas reserve, forget about the beautiful colors. Look at the number, 185 TCM. And you can split it by country, whatever. This is the natural gas which we call conventional, 185 trillion cubic meters. And then just go and look of the potential of shale gas, 16,000 TCF or 453 TCM, CBM and tight gas. So the world is sitting on a tremendous resource to go forward with, okay? And this is just the distribution among the different countries and regions. And I know that in India there is also resources. What I got to know is, from the shale gas, there's a lot of resources. Coal-bed methane is being developed by countries, by different companies, but shale gas is something that the government, the ministry and other companies are going through, okay? Forget about the numbers. Technical is easy for me. Now let's go and look what America did. Nobody thought that America can be a net importer of gas one day. 5 years ago, nobody believed. Now, they are the net importers, and they are converting LNG plant, to make it liquefied rather than gasified before. So this is what a country can do with all its resources. And this is what other part of the world can do if we focus on the right thing. When you look at the life cycle from the upstream, you go through resource characterization, then you model it, you drill, you complete, and generally speaking, every well requires stimulation, which we call hydraulic fracturing. Then you have to have artificial lift because certain reservoirs you need to dewater them, you produce a lot of water. And then with that comes the infrastructure logistic and the socio-economic part of the development, which includes water management, footprint, environmental impact, and service company intensity. I was part of the acquisition of BG on QGC, and at no point we thought the environment would take its toll. For 1 year, we had to stop all our operation because there was a perspective that the oil and gas company damages the environment. Some of them are true, some of them are not. And I am a believer that oil and gas is where professionals use tremendous technology and safety in their work. The reason we get a magnifying glass is because we are transparent in our statistics. We monitor the lost time injury, we monitor the death in the organization by detail, which other industry generally do not do. So, if people are working in a conventional reservoir, you have a very distinct phase. Explore, you appraise, you construct, you operate, and then you sell your product. And this cycle can be between any 2 to 5 years, okay? So this is the general mindset when you do conventional reservoirs. Now, we go to the tight. When you say tight gas, I believe it is a different model and mindset where I say it requires a pay-as-you-go approach to unlock the reservoir. Well placement is based on each well's more limited drainage radius. And this is a challenge. This is a challenge in an environment like India or any other countries where there is a production sharing agreement, where companies have to put a plan ahead what they're going to do in 15, 20 years. And when you go to unconventional, it is very tough. The heterogeneity of the reservoir, both vertically and laterally, is tremendous. So you come to a custom that learn as you go, pay as you go. And you have this SIM card, pay as you go. So this is a mindset. The government, the Ministry of Petroleum, the National Oil Company, the oil industry companies, whether it's private or national, the universities have to work together, really. When I took the role, people say, oh no, this is a technical, how do you hydraulic frag and all that. For me, technical is not a challenge. Maybe because I've been a lot in technical. I come to a human behavior and attitude that makes the big difference. So when you give an example of a tight gas, when you drill deep water, you see well producing very high rate and there's a plateau. Whereas in tight gas, whether it's CBM, shale gas, you have a quick peak and then a drop. And the decline could be hyperbolic rather than exponential. You might drop 60% of your production on year 1 or year 2. And this requires a different focus. So your effort to optimize the production and try to get minimum flow rate to deliver commercial recovery. Okay? And when you put multiple wells together, you see a scenario like this, where when you develop the unconventional, you must have a manufacturing mentality, right? You have many rigs, you are drilling continuously to keep the production rate. And to do that, it's not easy, okay? And I will come and explain to you what I feel is the difference between North America and the aspiration of other parts of the world. Just for people, this is a picture that we took in North America. Haynesville fracturing. You can see the intensity of the operation. People who work in the field, they bring one truck. Can you look at the ecosystem that you have when you try to complete one well? And this is 4 well pad, one pad that has 4 horizontal wells. It's enormous, huh? And this is a geomodeling where you see where 4 horizontal wells are drilled in this direction and another 4 in this direction, where fracturing is done simultaneously on 4 wells. And I'll come back, I've been in India for 8-9 months. I will reflect what I think is tough and challenging. When I used to show this slide, I used to have only 3 triangles: people, technology, and process. When I was asked to do this presentation, I add one more triangle, which is the attitude triangle. Okay? And I will explain to you what I mean by that. Okay, so look at the organization. In America, to enter the barriers of law, bureaucratic is almost none. To enter a market outside North America because of the government policy, national oil company policy, and other parts of the system makes it very difficult. And then we sit down and ponder why North America can do much better than us. There is a different economic hurdles. The piece of land belongs to the farmer. He holds the resources. You pay him and you drill. And both parties are happy because they are part of the socio-economic. If you go to Texas, whereas in India, it's a different challenging game. Not just in India, but other part of the organization. So when I say India, please do not feel sensitive. I'm just referring to the local thing that I realized. Everybody says, I am an integrated company. What do you mean by integrated? Just by people sitting in one place, everybody is integrated. Open policy like Japanese factory is integrated. No. My view, integrated is mentally and emotionally connected. The other issue is we have organization that has tremendous vertical silos, even in E&P company, and they say they are integrated. I say no, they are not integrated. We have multiple ministries in the government. They say they are integrated. They are not integrated. Okay? And here the culture is master. I would like to use the word cautiously, servant. He is my boss. As long as I make my boss happy, I don't care about other people around me. And this is important. I want the new generation to think, when you have a boss, you must also mentally and emotionally accept that you have many bosses on your side. This is how a matrix organization works. And this is how integration, true integration comes. Okay? I will stop there. I'm touching all this because this is the key to unlock unconventional. Okay? Then we will see why North America is so fast and furious. Okay? Why we think we are very fast and furious, but we are far behind. Because all the mental and emotional is not connected. We are focused on technical things, you know, but there are other things in this world that is equally important. Operational efficiency. In America, they have tremendous infrastructure and logistics, right? You call a company, I can get water tomorrow. I call a company, I have 10 different people who can support and supply my propellant. When I go to India, I call nobody. The same guy who is supporting and providing me water, he is the same guy who provides me the scaffolding. He is the same guy who provides me everything. Where is the small to medium scale entrepreneurship that has to come to support this kind of development? Okay? When I came and joined the job, there was a 6-hour delay in a job in the rig that under my system, right? I was so furious. I couldn't sleep at night. The next day I go for a meeting, everybody's laughing. Because they don't feel that it is efficient. 6 hours late, chalega, chalta hai. If you have that kind of mindset, you will sit on unconventional and think about it, why am I not developing it? The technical thing is important. The operational excellence in doing your field work is more important than your technical excellence when you do unconventional development. Then I have young engineers who are very educated, perfect in their examinations. You know, I know that it's very difficult to get into universities nowadays. You challenge yourself, I understand that. But once you graduate, you change your mindset. You cannot look at precision. Go to two decimal points. When I talk to my engineer, 2 decimal points. Why do you need that? It is the decision that is more important than the precision. Don't take too long time in making decision. Make a judgment, take a risk, and move forward. And then, do not have this culture of finding other people's mistake, blaming culture, right? Look at yourself and see how can you clean you. Clean your backyard. I tell my guys and my department, you clean your backyard before you complain about drilling. You are petroleum engineers, you clean yourself before you tell what is wrong with the drilling. And human being is always simple. Find the fault of other people. If everybody cleans their family, cleans their backyard, the world will be a nice and wonderful place to stay. And then critical mass, manufacturing mindset, service quality is very important. So I give you an example. Sorry, I just want, because it's very important. When I came and I moved to my house, somebody came and repaired my house, plumbing work. So we have tremendous talent in India, graduates, and we have laborers. What we are missing, in my view, is skilled laborers with passion of service quality. The guy comes, repair my faucet, but he breaks 2 things on top of it. So he repaired one and he break 2 things and he feels he's done a good job. I couldn't sleep at night. So I think this is my, hopefully it's my last slide. You know, when we have a crisis, whether it's management crisis, production crisis, unconventional, 4 types of people. The first, those who make things happen. The second, those who watch things happen. When it is success, they jump on the bandwagon. When it is a failure, look, I told you so, not to do it. The third, they are in their illusion. Those who wonder what happened. And then the last one, there are people who do not want to make it happen, and they become the stumbling block in any organization or any society. Help me to get rid of them. Okay, I think that's all.